Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and today we're going to try to show how to bring some luster back to your plastic on your four-wheeler. And I've been working on the back plastic for the customer. I've got a customer's four-wheeler here that it's also a big bear, and he came to buy my wheels, and he needed a lot of work done to this thing, and CV axle, boots, adjust the valves, clean the carburetor, brake work, rear end work, change oil, put oil in the rear ends, and I've got all that done except for the rear end and the oil change. The problem is we ran into a problem with the rear end. The brakes and everything was just saturated with nasty, dirty, watery rear end grease, where the rear end seal had been leaking into the drum. So we got to straighten that out, and right now I'm just working on a piece of plastic here, and we'll show you here in a minute. But I wanted to bring this to your all's attention. You see this? We got a Bison t-shirt. So far there's only been two made. Aaron, buddy of mine in Canada, he bought one, and I got his at the same time. They came in the same package. So I thought I'd show off my new Bison shirt. If anybody wants one, let me know, and we'll see what we can do about making that happen. This one here was pretty expensive, but you know, not everybody's as poor as I am. So anyway, what we'll do is bring it down here and show you what exactly we are doing. Now, I've gotten everything from here over, and it was in really bad shape, and it's pretty bad. This thing's been sitting out in the weather for a long time, and as you can see, this part right here is just nasty. You can see how white it is and dusty it is. It's because the top layer of the plastic has been in the sun, and that causes a milky white, dusty, rough surface. And we're getting rid of that. Now, we're not going to get this perfect. This is not a perfect solution. If you want a perfect solution, buy new plastic. But you can see it's set underneath a tree. It's got black stuff all in it, and it's pretty hard to deal with, and it's a workout. So if you decide to do this to yours, be prepared to have a workout, because it is a workout. So what I've done, I'm just taking some coarse steel wool and going over it first, and then once I've got it to an even color, a brighter even color, then I'll go back with the lighter, real fine steel wool and steel wool it again. Well, then we're planning on taking and try two different techniques. We're going to try heating it like I did mine. This one's in a whole lot worse shape than mine was in, so the heat gun did a good job on mine, but we'll see. Or we're going to try to just buff one area and see which one is better. We may have to do both. We may have to heat it to flow it out, and then once it cools down, then come back and polish it. So it's a tedious, long process, and I'm almost done with this one as far as getting it down to where it's an even color. And it's, no matter how you look at it, it's always going to look better than it did with this. So enjoy the music. Alright, so now that we've got somewhat of an even sheen to it, you know, matte color. Yeah, it's got still got black in it, but to get that out, you would have to work overtime, and I'm not working overtime on this. Yeah, I'm doing it the best I can get it, because I've got other things that needs to be done. So what I've got is a heat gun that I bought for heat shrink on wiring, and I've got a high and low setting, and I usually go to high, and I'll just set it on there until it starts getting a gloss to it, or a wet look to it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start. Alright, so now we've got it melted down flat, and it's hot right now, so once it's warm or cooled down, then we'll take this medium duty compound Evercoat, and I've had this for years, and we'll polish it with this. Now, it's not going to get everything out, but it's going to be decent, not embarrassing. I'm not worried about inside here. That's going to be all covered up with the seat. I'll just wash it with a rag and be done with it. So, as soon as that cools down, we'll be back. Alright guys, I've polished this side here, and yeah, like I said, it's not perfect, but it looks a whole lot better than it did. This side I haven't done anything to, and basically what I'm doing is going over it after I melted it with a piece of fine grit steel wool, and we're using the steel wool to even all this out to make it look pretty uniform. So once I get this uniform, then I'll polish it. And like I said, it's not perfect, but it looks a whole lot better than it did. So we'll go ahead and take the steel wool, and I'll just show you a little bit of it here, and then we'll just jump to the next scene. So we're just taking, even that back out. We turn that around here. So we're just taking even all this out and get rid of the dry look. And then we'll polish it. And I decided to go with this instead. New finish. The once a year polish. Now when I polish this, I'm going to polish it until the wax starts getting a drag to it. When it's real smooth, you just keep going until it gets a drag to it. Once it starts getting a drag to it, that means it's actually doing what it needs to do. And there we have it. Like I said, it's not the best, and I can't hardly get around that Yamaha. It's a little dirty, but you know, it's a lot better than it was. So we're going to stop there because I ain't going to do any more to it. You're never going to get a factory look again. So then we got the front one to do yet, and that looks 90% better anyway, if not 80, somewhere around there. But I'll go ahead and put that one on there and do the other one and put it on. You guys won't see that. And I'm taking pictures as I go. The guy paid $1,000 for this thing, and it needed CV axles, brakes, rear end work, carburetor, valves adjusted, things taken off, things put back on. But anyway, tell me what you think of my new shirt, Bison logo. Don't you guys break your necks to try to get one. Anyway, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. And if you want to help the channel out, you can do so with PayPal at bisonworkshop@gmail.com. You guys have a good one. Later.